Hello, it's Mrs Glasson and welcome to some luscious and particularly lovely wonderful words beginning with L. Let's go. What's going on, I hear you ask? Why, Mrs Glasson, have you got a word beginning with I on the screen? We thought that this was wonderful words beginning with L. Well, students, you're right. This is wonderful words beginning with L. But do you remember when I taught you this wonderful word beginning with I in that tutorial, I said to you that I thought of some fantastic synonyms for indolent beginning with L, and that I wanted you to think about what they could be, try to guess them, and a couple of you, thank you very much, did actually guess correctly, and you did email me at tuition@mrsglasson.com. That's brilliant, thank you very much. And those words are lackadaisical and lethargic. Well done, well done. Now, looking at that word lackadaisical, I've talked to you about how I used to mispronounce words and how my dad used to mispronounce words. That is one that I often used to quote to my Sutton Grammar students. So I told you about the jeopardy for jeopardy. Well, certainly lackadaisical didn't sound anything like that when my dad said it. And again, let me show you that wonderful tool for checking pronunciation. Let's just check that I do now pronounce it correctly.
Lackadaisical. Lackadaisical. Lackadaisical.
Oh, what a relief. Lackadaisical. I've got it right. So there we have those two fantastic words beginning with L, meaning indolent or lazy, lackadaisical and lethargic. Now, as we're thinking about words beginning with L, I wanted to just remind you of one of my bugbears. So in the foundation course and in the revision course, there is a lesson entitled Bugbears. So these are the things that really annoy me. And as I say, it's not all about me. Getting your spelling, punctuation and grammar right is integral to your accuracy as a writer. And if we're going to think about exams, it's integral to getting the highest marks, because creative writing examiners like me, we award marks for spelling, punctuation and grammar. And so less and fewer, why am I so fixated by those two words, students? So any students of mine will know countable and uncountable nouns. So I often use that example of the supermarkets. They used to say 8 items or less, but luckily now they have been corrected, mainly grammar obsessed people like me writing into them and haranguing them. They now do correctly say 8 items or fewer rather than 8 items or less. Now, I'm not going to explain this or go into great detail, but you need to get this right. So countable and uncountable nouns. When do you use less and when do you use fewer? And on the subject of bugbears, there's an advertisement by a company called Abel and Cole. And all the way through, they misuse less and fewer. So they seem to pay no attention to the rules of grammar concerning countable and uncountable nouns. Students, you can't do that because you are being assessed on spelling, punctuation and grammar. So make sure you know about countable and uncountable nouns, when to use less and when to use fewer, when to use much and when to use many. There you go, some homework for you. And I mentioned my bugbears, things that make me angry and infuriated. Angry, that's a really low-level word. I've just thought of one that's much better, beginning with L, livid. Livid, so that's extremely angry indeed. So in the 11 plus revision course, I have a lesson where I use 2 wonderful poems, so by William Blake and by William Wordsworth, poems about London. And it's a multiple answer comparative comprehension, so that you can practice using poems as comprehension extracts, but also so you can practice comparing. And it's a real kind of old chestnut. All English teachers, when they're doing comparative texts, they compare Composed Upon Westminster Bridge by William Wordsworth and London by William Blake. But in the Blake poem, Blake is walking through the streets of London and he is angry by what he sees, the marks of weakness, the marks of woe. He's more than angry. He is absolutely livid. End with some wonderful synonyms for livid. Blake is more than just angry. He is furious, he is infuriated, he is irate, he is wrathful, and he is enraged. A little bit like me when I see people making mistakes with countable and uncountable nouns. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed hearing about those lovely, luscious words beginning with L. And I hope that you've been keeping up with the other words in the tutorials as well. Have you been writing them down? Have you been learning them as you've been going along? I hope so. And I hope that by now you have pressed the pink subscribe button and that you are tuning in every Tuesday and every Saturday to learn some more wonderful words in order to, and I hope that you can join in by now, elevate your lexis, make your diction more dexterous, and to make your English exemplary. Because don't forget, students, English is amazing. It's not just about learning things, it's about life.